which Netherlands visa actually applies to non-EU business owners, and why HSM via your own BV is the route that works. If you are a non-EU business owner researching how to move to the Netherlands, at some point you have landed on either the startup visa or the self-employed permit. For most people in your situation, neither is the right starting point. The route that actually works for most non-EU business owners has a name that rarely shows up in entrepreneurs' visa searches. It's called the highly skilled migrant permit, and you access it through your own Dutch company. This video is going to explain why and how. I've been working in Netherlands immigration and business setup for many years. I have seen cases from Turkey, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Kazakhstan, Georgia, Nigeria, India, across every non-EU geography where people are seriously looking at the Netherlands. The pattern I keep seeing: people doing a lot of research in the wrong direction. Today I want to fix that. Here is the reason most of what you have read probably doesn't apply to you. Immigration research following existing content, and the content that exists concentrates on two things: the DAFT visa, which is US only, and the startup visa route. Those two routes dominate English language coverage, the articles, the YouTube videos, the Reddit tweets. The DAFT visa requires American citizenship. That's the first requirement. If you're not American, it doesn't apply to you. The startup visa is a real path, but it's a 1-year permit with a conversion process at year end. And most of the content about it describes a version that changed a few years ago, simply outdated. And the route that works cleanest for most established non-EU business owners, HSM via your own BV, sits outside the standard entrepreneur visa search terms, so people researching entrepreneur visas just don't find it. Let me map all 5 routes quickly, then explain why one of them is probably yours. Route 1. The DAFT visa, Dutch-American Friendship Treaty, US citizens only. That's the first condition. If you're not American, skip it entirely. The reason it gets so much coverage is that Americans writing in English have documented it extensively. It has nothing to do with your situation. Route number 2. Startup visa. This is designed for people who want to build something new in the Netherlands. The process works through a government-approved facilitator, an organization vetted by the RVO, the Netherlands Enterprise Agency. They review your business plan and score it against criteria. Is the business innovative, knowledge intensive? Does it create value for the Dutch economy specifically? If you pass, you get a 1-year permit. At the end of the year, you need to apply separately for the self-employed permit. That transition is its own process with its own scoring threshold, and it's where a lot of people lose residency. The startup visa acceptance rate across all entrepreneur visa types is around 13%. It's designed for early stage founders building something genuinely new for the Dutch market. If that's you, it's worth exploring. If you have an established business you want to operate from the Netherlands, is not the right tool. Route number 3, self-employed permit. The self-employed permit, in Dutch, zelfstandige verblijfsvergunning. This is the direct residency path for business owners. No facilitator required, no 12-month limit. But the threshold is high. You need to score 95%, so 95 points, on the RVO's criteria: innovation, Dutch market impact, knowledge intensity. Without an existing Dutch client base and documented track record in the Netherlands, hitting 95 points on your own is genuinely difficult. For an established business with clear Dutch relevance, it's viable. For someone earlier in the process, it's a high bar. Route number 4, Turkish nationals, specifically focused on you, the Ankara Treaty. Route 4 applies specifically to Turkish nationals. The Ankara Treaty gives Turkish entrepreneurs a fundamentally different legal standing, including an exemption from the standard RVO 95-point scoring system. This is not widely known. Most content doesn't cover it. If you're Turkish, your path is different from every other non-EU nationality in the Netherlands. I made a dedicated video on exactly how the Ankara Treaty route works. I will link it here. Route 5, investor and intra-company transfer routes. The investor route applies to high net worth individuals making a qualifying capital investment. The intra-company transfer is an employment route. Your employer moves you to a Dutch office. If you're an entrepreneur making your own move, neither of these is likely your route. The HSM route via own BV. Now, the route most non-EU business owners never research. Here is how it works. You form a Dutch BV, in Dutch also called a besloten vennootschap, the standard Dutch private limited company. The BV applies to become a recognized sponsor. an employer that the IND is approved to hire highly skilled migrants. Once your BV has recognized sponsor status, it employs you. You become your own employee, and as an employee of a recognized Dutch employer earning above the salary threshold, you qualify for the highly skilled migrant permit. The HSM permit runs for up to 5 years. Full Dutch employment rights from day one. No year-end conversion. No second application at month 12. No rescoring. 2 threshold conditions. You need to pay yourself a minimum DGA salary, DGA salaris in Dutch, of €5,688 per month. That's the IND's HSM salary requirements for 2025 for age 30 and above. And your BV needs to achieve recognized sponsor status with the IND. Compare that to the startup visa for a moment. The startup visa asks, is your business innovative enough to qualify as a Dutch startup? It evaluates your business plan against RVO criteria. If the answer isn't yes, you're rejected. The HSM route asks, are you a skilled employee earning above the salary threshold at a recognized Dutch employer? That's a different question and it's more directly in control. Startup visa, 1 year permit, high stakes year-end conversion, roughly 13% acceptance across all entrepreneur visa types. HSM via your own BV, up to 5-year permit, no conversion, 98% acceptance rate in our client caseload. One thing that comes up, how long does it take? For a new BV, the recognized sponsor process through the standard track takes up to 6 months, but there is a faster route. If your Dutch BV is a subsidiary of an existing foreign company, the NFIA pathway gets your recognized sponsor status in 4 to 5 weeks. No RVO assessment required. End-to-end from starting the BV processing to having Dutch residency, most clients are done in 3 to 5 months. So which route is yours? If you're American, DAFT. If you're Turkish, Ankara Treaty, watch the video I made on that before you research anything else. If you're making a qualifying investment, investor route. If you're an early stage founder building something genuinely new for the Dutch market and you're ready for a 1-year permit with a year-end conversion, startup visa is worth exploring. 3 things. 1. The DAFT visa, the route that dominates English language content, requires American citizenship. If you're not American, that content is not for you. 2. The startup visa is a real option, but it's a 1-year bridge with a year-end conversion that many people feel. HSM via your own BV gives you up to 5 years from the start with no conversion required. For most established business owners, it's the cleaner path. 3. The HSM route requires forming a Dutch BV and getting it recognized sponsorship. In other words, recognized sponsor status. That process has a faster track if your BV is a subsidiary of an existing company. The end-to-end timeline is 3 to 5 months. If you want to see the startup visa and the HSM route compared side by side, permit durations, works restrictions, year-end risk, acceptance rates, I made a video exactly on that. I will link it here when it's published. If you haven't watched the first video on the channel about why 87% of Netherlands entrepreneur visa applications get rejected, I'd watch that first. The link is here. Subscribe if you want 1 video a week on Netherlands immigration and business setup specifically for non-EU entrepreneurs.